Thank you. Well, as he was saying, I'm not going to talk about blue or green. I'm going to talk about brown and about something that is actually quite nasty, smelly. Yeah. I'm going to talk about slurry. And for the newbies, slurry is poo from animals. Actually, it's even worse. It's poo mixed with urine. So, no romantic story today. No nice things about the ocean and so on. So I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm going to talk about slurry because we are all part of the problem. Okay. So unless you are vegan, unless you eat those hamburgers produced in labs that cost $1 million and probably taste like hell. Okay, you are part of the problem. So if you eat cheese, if you like milk, if you use byproducts from animals, you are part of the problem, of course, of the solution. Okay, so and it's a big problem. Actually, we produce in the European Union 1.4 billion tons of slurry every year. Okay, so it's not only a matter of the volume, which has to be managed, of course. It's a problem of the GHG emissions related with this volume of the water and soil pollution, and plenty of problems linked to these big volumes of the slurry. But luckily for us and for anyone, very wise guys some years ago, and we have them in our team because we are very good actually, invented a technology for converting this slurry into something that is absolutely amazing. Okay, it's gold. Well, I'm kidding you, of course it's not gold. But it's something very close. It's a mineral. It's called struvite. Okay, it's a real name, but it's called the struvite. Struvite is a mineral very rich in phosphates, and that slurry can be converted into a struvite. Okay, and the good thing, and this is why I was saying it's like gold, is because it can be used as a fertilizer. So that means that it can recycle the nutrients given to the animals and close the loop. Second thing is it can reduce the volume of this big volume of slurry, and the good thing also is that it can be used in organic agriculture. And the other thing, of course, is that we are reducing the environmental problem. And one thing also very important is that they are complying with the more and more strict regulations from the European Union and the member state. So why I'm here is the problems looked already solved with this technology. Well, the point is that it's not only about the technology. We have to put this technology into real farms, with real farmers, and address the problems of real life. Basically putting this in the market, make this fertilizer competitive in the market. And this is what we are doing. We are working very hard. We have pilots in 4 countries. And what we want is to scale this up. Okay, so we believe in our project, and this is why we are working very hard. And I'm pretty sure you will hear in the future about this towards live waste. That's the name of our project, and a struvite. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your name, all adopted. I liked your presentation. I thought it was very natural. It was great. You didn't have to even use slides. You didn't have to show us the shit. Thank you for that. Thank you for sparing us. I like the slurry. I think that works very well in marketing, and I learned something new about struvite. So this is always compliment coming from a journalist to catch something right away. There was also a stat, I think, that you dropped, which is a statistic that was quite impressive. I can't remember it right now, but it's something that I'll go back to. The yuck factor. How do you convince your first pilots that, okay, look guys, this is gross, but we got to overcome that and we got to see if this works?
Yeah, main limitation is of course investment, because this equipment is still new, not produced massively, is still expensive, and we are trying to understand what are the best options for a farmer. If you have to treat your slurry, it's going to be more expensive, it's going to be unrealistic. So we have to work with the raw material as it comes from farms, that's the main thing, and to understand if our machine is going to be like this room, or if it's going to be like a washing machine. And all these depend on the kind of raw material coming to the machine, but also how competitive the production and the price of this struvite in the market is going to be. So this is the challenge, and the good thing, I would say we are optimistic, is that I mean there are more and more regulations. So I don't know if you are familiar with the problem, but most of those livestock farmers, they are also agriculture producers. Why? Not because they like it, sometimes of course they do, but it's mainly for spreading the manure, because they need hectares for spreading. So I think this can change a little bit things, and if they manage to produce something that is valuable, that can be used in their own farms, but maybe also sold, why not, as a part of the business, I think it can help to convince them.
Thank you. I think that Antonin, you tried to buzz and investors helped you.
Yeah, because I have a timing strength. It's the end of the day. Yeah, it's pretty complete, but yeah. I just asked to how to be competitive with others, people who sells shit. And is it possible to do this for bio agriculture? Organic agriculture.
To use a product, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. The output, the struvite, it's along with biochar and ash-based products. I mean, they are products that can be used in organic agriculture. It is right now on the text from the Parliament and the Council for being definitely approved. But
Fingers crossed.
regarding the competitiveness, it's all about technology. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, and the variables change in different scenarios. So this is why we are cooperating with different Mediterranean partners, working also with pig farms, but also with cow farms, and in different conditions. So this is why we want to have the whole image.
Okay, thank you very much.
So first I comment on that follow-up question. So my comment is that you really get my attention because I have the impression that we are all reflecting on how we can, with our behavior, reduce our carbon footprint, and of course food is one of things. But I also believe that it's really hard to convince the whole population that we should stop definitely eating meat. But it's easier to reduce that, and it's also helpful when we see that one of the consequences of eating meat can be relatively so. For me, that was really interesting, that way you got my attention. And then my follow-up question, which is related to what Pastor in Chief asked before, is to what extent when you were launching this project, you were planning to be some sort of transition between the producers of the slurry and the final product that you might then use again for another purpose, or you were thinking about becoming sort of an industry in transforming the slurry and then eventually selling the product somewhere else. So that's what I want to understand.
Okay, so yeah, regarding the first point you mentioned, I always say, of course, eating meat is a personal decision, but I always say to the people, if you eat meat, you should reduce the amount. That's the first thing, and the other thing, go for meat that is produced organically or in extensive farming systems. So because at the end, intensive farming, which is mainly related with what I was talking, is going to exist. I mean, it's good. Hopefully, it's going to be reduced very much in the future, but it will exist. So we have to put solutions, even also for this. Slurry will always be there. And regarding the second point, the aim, I think, was always closing the loops. Closing the loop. We are not really sure if it's going to be competitive enough for being a product in the market as a fertilizer, or just for being used by the farmer. But both solutions are okay. And actually, one of the things we are trying to do for the project in the transferring activities is also to understand the whole map of solutions for slurry. I mean, we are working on one of them, which is a struvite, but there are plenty of them. So we draw some maps and say, okay, if for any reason these prices of fertilizer go down, this solution won't exist, so we take the other route down, and we go this way. So there are ways of dehydrating, of putting them into biogas digesters to produce pellets, to plenty of solutions. So, I mean, this I think is very important, saying that this is not the only solution, it's a complementary solution, but we have to go as far as possible with it.
Other questions? Ah, Matteo, yes?
Very quick one. When do you think you will be ready for?
Well, there is one plant in Cyprus that is running. The next one, if I'm not wrong, will be in Spain and Bosnia and also Sardinia, I think probably along with Bosnia. So that will be in Christmas. So you will be invited to visit the plant. I mean, it's very, very funny because you have to bring a suit completely covered, and you look like a lady visiting the plant. So yeah, we will be producing the first batches of struvite. I mean, the idea is not to produce struvite for producing struvite per se, but testing what I was saying, all those different combinations of things for understanding the richness of the struvite, the value, the cost of production.